So we can, thank you. So I was saying the products that we have in our financial world today are so dynamic and they are almost like a pizza. You can create the kind of product that you want, so you can have, the mushrooms and the cheese and the baby corn and whatever combination you want. So companies have also become very clever, especially insurance companies. They give you a standard product. Here's a standard product. Now you choose how long you want to pay, how many years you want the product to continue. After it gets over, how many years you want the maturity to come in? Do you want to take a lump sum? Do you want it in, a series of cash flows? So insurance companies, of course, have become very beautiful. Costs are very, very low. Mutual fund is a very straightforward product. But in mutual fund also, there are lots of entry methods, exit methods, and those things, when you put together, they make a very interesting sort of a solution. So we're going to talk about that. But this time in this month's session, I wanted to do the reverse. So I have some idea. I want to talk about some tax saving because it's very, very important that all of us in India, we like to have some tax saving products. Um, you know, uh, by the way, friends, otherwise mute yourselves. But whenever you want to talk, it's a free flowing about an hour, 60 to 90-minute discussion. So just unmute yourselves and start talking. And if you want me to address something at that point of time, but otherwise, please keep yourself in mute. So I was saying it's very important in India that we tend to get all these tax benefits and we take full advantage of all the tax breaks available. But if you've been observing the trend for the last few years, what is happening is continuously the government is one by one, slowly and steadily taking away each benefit that was available. Now, this year's announcement of 2023 was almost a sweeping announcement where we said that now the new tax regime is going to come into place. So if you don't choose the old one, by default, you have the new, which means there is no tax deduction whatsoever. But there are certain things which we can still do. And if we do those things, then the benefit for that remains for many, many years together. So plan of action for today is we will just talk. We always, we are into wealth management and, we do investment. So we will always talk a little bit about the stock market because that's something that everyone wants to know. Where are we headed? What are we doing? So we'll spend very limited time on that. Then we will go to the main subject, which is how to take advantage of 1010B so much more versus that 80C benefit that we used to take until now. How that has become more important, that focus, that's something that we will talk. And then we will move on to those cash flows of 200K and much more, and how we can build up all of that and make that more interesting and dynamic. So can you put up the presentation, please? In the meanwhile, I've seen some new people who've just joined. Vijay, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Then there is Crew, Srilata. Good to have you here. What I was just sharing with everybody for your benefit, Amitesh, welcome. Is just feel free to interrupt me when you want. And if you are talking of some subject and if you want to ask something, counter question, do it there. Put it up on the chat. Feel free, however you would like to do it. If there is a particular subject, by the way, friends, that you all want me to answer or cover in my conversation, if it's a part of it, I will do it. Otherwise, we'll always take that towards the end. But is there anything that you have in top of your mind? Put it in the chat box. So we've got a handle on that as well. Okay, please proceed on the presentation. Next. This is just sorry, can you go back, please? This is just a summary of what's happening here. I mean, I normally keep this running as a ongoing list for whatever is happening in 2023 for the benefit of everybody. For some of you attending this repeatedly, you know that interest rates have been paused, which means we will not see too much of hikes happening, which means that if you have to do your fixed deposits, if seniors in the house have to do the fixed deposit, they should do it now because then the rates will start falling. USA, already a lot of negative news had come out earlier in the year. But India, we are very good. The major two news that has happened in India in the last few months is insurance has all become now taxable, except if you have a premium of less than. Can we have this muted, please? Thanks. Uh, India, I was saying that insurance has now become taxable. That's a major blow, except for premiums that are less than 2.5 lakhs. So we are going to touch on that subject also today. Very crucial, very interesting, and something very interesting is happening in that space. Indexation benefits, obviously, on debt mutual funds and all is also gone, which means that if you are investing in fixed income, getting 6-7%, whether it was FD or anything else, now the tax treatment is the same. There is no advantageous tax treatment. Pehle kya hota tha? That in fixed deposit, the tax used to be 30 or 35%, depending on your income tax bracket. But doing the same thing through mutual funds, our tax used to be much lower. It used to be 20% indexation plus indexation. So tax effectively would be very small, 5%, 8%. But now that benefit is also gone, So the government is trying to get as much tax revenue as they can. Next slide, please. Please move. Okay, so this is what is happening in the forward view of the market. Forward view means the forward view is only for one particular month. It's not for a very, very long period of time. So this is just for your interest. There is no action really required. But this is where at the beginning of January, it was bearish, bearish, bearish. Right now, from April, it has started moving upwards. So, we've seen this little bit of an upward movement happen. May also was up. We've just finished May, and June also looks that we will probably be positive. So no bad news on that front. So, we can breathe easy, we can relax. If you have to make any redemptions, there is no hurry to do that. You can wait for some time. We think that June will also be pretty steady. It will either be steady or it might be upward bias. We don't think this is our view. We may not see too much of a downfall. Okay, move on, please. Now, this is something interesting. This is something which we are introducing for the first time. Okay, these are some mathematical numbers. Now, first I will talk about Nifty. Okay, so ye apna Nifty hai, as you can see. This is the main index. Now, what I want you to observe is this is a new analysis that we've done. Ravi, you've also not seen this thing. This is something new that what we did here was we started showing what is happening to the market on a month-on-month basis to be able to identify, is the trend changing? So are better times coming forward? So that's something that we wanted to do, which is why we presented this little data. Now I'll show you how this data actually works and how to read this data. So this is Nifty. Okay, just focus on this part of the table right now. Huh? I mean, we're not looking at anything else. Don't mind my drawing, but just look at this part, this table. Okay. Now look at this thing. On the 1st of January, this was the index value. On the 31st of January, this was the index value. So what happened is it was a fall of 3% on the index. Fair. Next month, 2% it fell. In March, it just was almost flat. It kind of went up by hardly anything, 0.032. But cumulatively, YTD means, for the people who don't know YTD means year to date. So from the beginning of the year, calendar year till now, where is our position? Where are we standing? So it was -3%. Then by the end of Feb, we became -5. And then because the market went up a little bit, so we became 461. Is this clear? Is this, are people with me? Either on chat or otherwise, you can just give me a thumbs up so you'll understand. I know that you are okay and you are understanding this. Everybody okay with this? Okay, so thanks, Harsh. And everybody else okay, just give me some more okays so that I know that you all are understanding. I don't want to say something and move forward where, because something very crucial is what we want to talk about here. So watch this. Thank you, Srilata. Watch this now. On 30th of April, that means the month. Oh, hello, you changed the slide. On 30th of April, the number was 5.21. Nifty moved up 5% in the month of April. So from 1st April to 30th April, 5% the market went up. Okay, this is very, very interesting. What this means is, after negative, now this is suddenly becoming positive. This is what in our language we call as a trend change. You see, this was negative, negative, negative. This is positive. Ye positive ho gaya, and this is also now positive. Okay, plus ho gaya. So in that sense, one after the other, things are becoming positive. Now, what I wanted, can you just, this is the wrong slide. I was at Nifty. Right. Okay, thank you. The trend is the same. This is plus, this is plus. Look at the next 50. Now you see our stock market has 500 very important companies. Listed companies are maybe 7,000, 7,500. But the top 500 companies is where we focus on. That's the barometer of Indian stock market. That's the barometer of how our country is doing, how our economy is performing. So when we want to say that how is the stock market doing, typically we tend to look at the first 50, which is the Nifty 50 companies, and broadly we talk about the 500 companies. Okay? So in the same fashion, if you happen to see the next 50, right? Now, next 50 is here for you. Next 50, we are seeing the same thing. Next 50 means companies from 51 to 100, minus, minus, and then it's started becoming plus, plus, plus. What does this mean? Now, for some of you who are not connected so much to the market, from October 2021, the markets has been on a downfall. You see, so it's gone down, it's come up a little bit, it's gone down, but broadly the trend was down. It seems now to us that that is changing. About 18 months, 20 months have elapsed since October 21 to now. And after this lull of 18 or 20 months, sometimes you may have seen your mutual funds didn't do so well, or your stock portfolios are just about okay. Things are going to change now. And that is exactly what's happening. So we are seeing positive shoots, or as we call green shoots. We are seeing a little bit of a change. It's a positive sign. We can see the same thing in the other two indices also, mid cap and small cap. Now, why are we showing you these four? Please go to the next one. See, what happens is, as such, you see, can you just, yeah, thank you. See, what is happening is, for example, if this is the market. So market is divided into, this is Nifty 50. This is basically next 50. This is mid cap. Mid cap has 150 stocks, and this is small cap. Okay, small cap has 250 stocks, and that is how the total all of this equals to 500 stocks. See? Now, when you say what is happening to the market, and sometimes we have these kind of funny experiences. We say, "Arey, market to upar gaya, but my portfolio has not gone up. How is that happening?" Or market niche ja raha hai, but my portfolio is going up. There are things like that that happen. Reason is, if you have, let's say, 50% of your portfolio into a small cap, and then even if the Nifty is going down, you will see that your portfolio may be going up. Or you might see the reverse happening. You might see that Nifty is going up, which means the large companies are going. But if your portfolio is more towards mid cap and small cap, you might be going down. I'm not saying there's a direct or indirect relationship. I'm just saying that our market is very beautifully divided into four separate pockets, four separate buckets. These buckets work on their own. So not necessarily that whatever is happening to the main index, it will be reflected in the other indices. Sometimes what may happen is larger companies may not be growing at that speed, but the smaller companies might be growing at a much higher speed. Or today, our index has about half the companies inside our index is financial companies. So if the financial sector is not doing so well or is doing well, you might think that financial sector, the index is going up, which means because the financial sector is doing good, but the other sector may not be doing good. And you may have mutual funds, or you might have stocks which are in different areas, and which is why you may not see the same thing reflected. Broadly, things should move up, but they don't move up at the same time. That's the important thing to appreciate. So far, good. Is it clear to as to how to appreciate the market? Does it make sense? Okay. Guys, are you with me? Feel free to interrupt me, to ask me anything that you may not understand. This is something which we've done for the first time. Now, what is amazing, absolutely amazing is, look at this. The small cap in April did 7% almost. Look at this return, 7 plus 5.55. Now, if we have small cap funds, imagine how much money have we made? Abhi to financial year has just begun. But in this financial year, how much have we made here? 7 plus, let's say 5. 7 plus 5, we have already made 12%. Now, what do we say in the mutual fund world? that typically we should be making somewhere in the range of 12 to 15%, 12 to 16%. That's what a mutual fund does. But now this has happened in the first 2 months. So the returns that you might not have got for October 21 to now, actually now the market might help you to catch up. So in 2 months, you made 12%. Maybe the index has made 12%. So funds also tend to follow the index, or if you have a small cap portfolio, they might also be somewhere around 12%. It could be 11 also, could be 15 or 17 also if you have stocks. Okay. But they are more or less in line with the index, which means in 2 months, we've made a substantial return. Let's hope that this year turns out to be really good as it looks. It has started beautifully. Let's see what numbers get, what entries we have here for June and July and as we move forward. But have you all understand the concept of how our market is beautifully divided into 4 different sections? Is that very, very clear? Just give me some heads up. Some of you can give me a thumbs up, or some of you can just say yes. Okay, I'm glad. Anything, again and again, I'm saying financial world is a little complex. कुछ भी अगर कहीं पे भी समझ में नहीं आता है, or if you find it's difficult, the idea of this session is education and empowerment and enrichment. Okay, so there is no commercial angle to this whole thing. We will not speak about any product. We are not promoting any company. We are not even promoting our own company. It's our initiative to be connected with our clients. That's number one. And then we thought, why not the world at large? So we are just talking general information, so everyone can have some general information. And then if you need specific help, our numbers are there, our YouTube channels are there. We put all our numbers all across all of our Facebook and all of the social media activities that we do. We put our numbers there, so feel free to get in touch with us, send us WhatsApp, call us, whatever. As Jhaveri, somewhere towards the end in our chat, just put this telephone number also in case somebody wants further clarification or wants to talk to us. By the way, because you have registered into this session, we already have your email, so feel free to mail us, or if you want to get in touch with us, feel free to give us a call. Okay. All right, guys, thank you. All right, so let's move forward. So is this clear? I'm going to now leave the market here with the inference that we are looking good. We might be seeing a reversal happening in the market. Maybe 2023 will be a great year. Maybe financial year 23-24 might also close beautiful and positive. Maybe it will play catch up to the last 1.5 years of no return or under returns or less performance. I think we'll have a great time ahead. Okay. Shall we now proceed? Okay. So now we come to the main subject of today, where initially I mentioned that India is going through, can you stop the presentation for minutes? India is going through a very different and a sort of a transitory phase. You see, what is happening is, and can you spotlight, please? We're going through a very different transitory sort of a phase. So what is happening is everywhere, wherever we had benefits in terms of, see, benefits happen in 2 ways, right? One is happens in terms of deductions, which means जब आप invest करते हो, तब there is some sort of a tax benefit that you get. And the other benefit is called exemptions. That means जब आपका maturity आता है, या when you invested 5 years ago, उसके बाद में जो पैसा 5 years के बाद में it has grown and come back to you, you are getting an exemption or you are getting some benefit that time. So the benefit that you get later on is called exemptions, because that part of the income is exempt from taxation. So we call it as a exempt income. And when we are investing something, we call it a deduction. Okay, so that's the difference of the 2 different benefits that we get from income tax laws. But now what's happening, if you see the trend from 2018, slowly and steadily, the government is now thinking that India is prospering, Indians are prospering, we are moving forward, and therefore the tax benefits now need to be withdrawn. So slowly and steadily, what is happening is all the tax benefits that we had are going away one by one. And not only are going away, to give us a slightly softer landing or to give us a slightly better treatment, nobody likes to get a shock in their life, right? So the government is very slowly and gradually reducing the benefits, in a stepped manner. So that's exactly what is happening. So imagine insurance industry and LIC was the biggest player, is still the biggest player, but the other players also in the last 20 years have done phenomenally well. They've all, done a lot of business. ICICI, HDFC, Tata, Kotak, these companies, Bajaj, these have all become like household brands today. And we all have policies from all these companies, whether it's a motor insurance or a car insurance, but specifically life insurance. See, whatever we invested, and we invested for 5 years and 10 years and 15 years and 20 years. जब आपको वो पैसा वापस मिलता था, it was all tax free. Now that's no more. That's gone. That income that you will get now going forward from this point onwards, from 1st April of this year, whatever you get is going to get added to your income. So if you're paying 30% tax, you'll have to pay 30% tax on those benefits that you will get in future as well. So, you know, as we always do, we try and think about, can we do something clever? Can we do something interesting? So now today, what is the provision that's available to us that the government is saying, the finance ministry is saying, Madam Prime Minister, finance minister is saying, sorry, that up to 2.5 lakhs of investment, if you do, then the benefits that you will get from there is tax. Okay. So we'll just talk about this first. This is a smaller subset of the larger financial freedom that we are going to do. So it is like saying that, if we had 100 rupees to invest, so 100 rupees means a small part of it, we are going to get some tax benefit. So we'll talk about that. And that's very important. It's very crucial at this point of time. I don't know how long this window will open. I can safely think and assume that this window is definitely open till the next budget. Okay. But that does not mean we should really wait until January or February of 24, because it's not necessary that all the announcements that are made are only made in the budget. They can be made even before. They can, things can happen even in 2 months down the line. So let's be prepared. Let's understand what we can do today and what benefit we can earn. We showed you a little graphic. Can you first show me the graphic on the presentation, please? The focus 1010D graphic. Yeah, that one. Thank you. So, here 20,000 per month is what we spoke of, right? 20,000 per month, you multiply this by 12. Basically, this is, how much is this? 2.4 lakhs, right? So it's just a shade under 2.5 lakhs. So this is what we can do. And we've said that this is a 1.2 crore tax-free solution. So what does this mean? Now, I will just very slowly take you into this cash flow just to show you that a small 20,000 per month kind of an investment into this particular. Now, this is a good product. Now, what we also do is we go through all the products that are available in the Indian market, and then we come out with something which has the lowest cost, highest benefits, most effective, and something that I personally like is liquidity. That if you do something 2 saal, 5 saal, 10 saal ke baad mein acha nahi laga, take it out, you should have that freedom and flexibility. So I like flexibility. So yahan pe flexibility is in 5 years. Now, what is this 10-10-10 solution? Okay, this 10-10-10 solution is very simple. What this basically is trying to say is that for 10 years, we have to pay. This is 10 for pay for 10 years. This is wait for 10 years and earn 10%. Now, see, in the stock market, is there anybody in this room who has a doubt that 10% return milega ya nahi milega from the stock market? On an average, we have seen we get about 14 to 17%. That's the index has done that much. Our funds also do that. But my assumption is so conservative. I'm only taking 10%. I really want to have a show of hands or in the chat. Do you think 10% is possible? Can we just have a yes or no in the stock? In the a return of 10%. Is that possible? How many of you invest in the stock market? Can I assume that all of you are at least mutual fund investors, or you all have done something or the other? Yeah, LT saying yes. Okay. Thank you. Abhijit, thanks. Okay. So 10% is possible, right? Everybody? Okay. If you all even have videos on, I can see, yeah, 10% is good and possible. So I think we'll go with that assumption. Now, can you show me the cash flows, please? Okay, so this is what we wanted to show you. See, we are doing a very simple 20,000 rupee investment. Okay, 20,000 rupees per month. Okay, this product is only such a way that this is like an SIP. So every month ही होगा. You cannot do a 2.5 lakhs in one shot. Okay, this is 20,000 as you can see, 20K per month. That's why it becomes 240,000. Is this clear? Okay. Guys, you all are free to talk. Zari, can they unmute themselves? Can everybody unmute themselves? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So whenever you want to talk, interact, please do so. Okay.
So, Kartik, what you're saying is that this cannot be a an annual sort of payment, but has to be done monthly itself.
Ideally, yes, it's a monthly thing because the objective is that. But Zari, can you clarify? Can it happen annually? I'm not too sure about that.
No, it can only happen via monthly SIP.
Okay, so there you go.
Okay.
So he's
Okay.
clarified. So Abhijit, what we did is we go across everything that's available here, and then
Yeah.
so like I said that we don't. So we have one or two products in mind which can do this. So this is a design that I'm talking about. Like I said, we are not promoting anybody. This is just pure education. The idea is to tell you कि ये है, कि this is available in the market. इस तरह का ये benefit दे सकता है, and this is our assumption for it. You see?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what we are saying. So this is a monthly investment of 20,000 only. He has clarified also. Nothing in that. So we do it only for 10 years. Okay, we are not even doing it for a huge amount of time. We are just doing it for 10 years. Okay. So 10 years का ये investment करेंगे तो total investment हो गया 24 lakhs. Okay. So that's the total investment that we've done. Now we have assumed a rate of return, as you can see, of 10%, right? It's here. Everybody can see this 10% return, correct? This is just 10%. So we are not even assuming that we are going to get a great return or something like that. We are just saying, this is, by the way, a ULIP. The cost of this ULIP for anybody who's thinking about cost is 2%. This is the lowest. मतलब आपने 2,40,000 रुपया invest किया, 2% is the cost for the whole year. Sorry, am I correct? If I'm wrong somewhere, please guide me, okay? Because I'm just focusing on the design.
No.
Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
2%. So 4,800 rupees is the cost. And why I'm saying that is the cost, ULIP पे दूसरे भी cost होते हैं, you might think. So switching cost कुछ भी नहीं है. There is a fund management charge of 1%, which is typically mutual fund charges 2.5%. These guys charge about 1.25. They are half of that. That's the stand. That's the other cost. But यहाँ से जो पैसा कटेगा आपका is only 2%, 4,800. This is the least possible. Acha, they all, because it's a ULIP, they take away small amounts of money because they give you insurance benefit also. They give you some mortality, but इसमें 2,40,000 है तो 24 lakhs का insurance भी होगा. So some money will go to as insurance. But in this product, they return you all that money back. Once you're at the end of the 10th year or 15th year, somewhere in the middle, they will return all the monies back to you. So that means the only cost that you're paying is this 2% cost, which is going to happen annually. And that 1% आपका जो fund management charge होता है, that typically any fund manager charges. So the charge is 1.3% versus the mutual funds at 2.2 or 2.5, or some funds are even at 2%. So cost wise, this is the best, most cost effective. Okay. Now what happens is, focus here. We have only taken 10% return, right? Through and through, year after year. Okay. Now, can you just scroll down? What we are saying is invest for 1 second. What we are saying is invest for 10 years. And then we are saying, wo investment ko वैसे ही पड़े रहने दो. Let it be for another 10 years. Okay. So that's the 10-10-10 solution. What in that graphic, when we showed you a 10 by 10 by 10 solution, it means 10 years we'll invest, 10 years we leave the product as it is. Oh, one other thing. I spoke about it at the beginning, that all products are very, very modular. So we have optimized it. We have done this kind of a permutation combination and found that this is a very good solution. But instead of 10 years, you can pay for 15 also. You can pay for 5 years also. You can pay for 20 years also. Okay. Then the waiting period also, you can choose the way you like. But what we are thinking is, typically, if we are somewhere in the mid 30s, mid 40s, pay for 10 years. It's a reasonable amount of time. We can see 10 years. 10 years दिखाई देता है. If 10 years हम लोग pay करेंगे. Then we are saying 10 years, just leave as it is. And then now can you go back, go down to the 21st year? See, by the way, iska age jo hai, this is just a demonstration. We've taken age at 35. Huh? Can you just go up? Show that. Yeah, we've just taken a demonstration that somebody's age is 35. So we'll wait 20 years. 10 साल invest करेंगे, 10 साल रुकेंगे. at 56. Now go to 56. That is the 21st year. देखिए, at 10%, this is all 10%, huh? By the way, this retirement, can you just make this thing 0? So just so that it's clear, this retirement ROR, can you make it 0? Retirement, no, not that one. Retirement ROR, 0. So it'll, yeah, that one. Just make it 0. Yeah, this is just so that there is absolutely no confusion whatsoever. Sorry, yeah, but 10%, not 0. What am I saying? 10%. So it's 10% through and through. Our assumption was 10%. 10%. Not that one. M4. You're looking at income rate. I don't want income rate. Retirement ROR at 10%. Here, this one at 10%. Okay. Income. Bas, abhi theek hai. Come down. So now everything is at 10%. I just wanted to make it very clear. So you see this 12 million is nothing but 1 crore and 20 lakhs. So आपने invest किया 24 lakhs. 24 lakhs. 10 साल में आपने invest किया 20,000 every month. That's the only way possible. आपने 10 साल investment को ऐसे ही छोड़ दिया. What is the net result? 1.2 crores. So it's almost what? 5 times. Okay. And we have earned a return of 10%. I'm saying 10% is the bare minimum. Okay. Now, suppose, so far good, everybody okay? Any questions here? Is this okay? Is my assumption okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything good. Thank you. Now, go up. Now, let us just see, in the stock market, 15-16% returns are quite obvious, quite automatic. But isko 10 ki jagah, yes, Sanjay, you can pay more. Like I said, it's very, very modular. हम खाली एक demonstration दे रहे हैं कि अगर हम 20,000 से 10 साल के लिए भी करें तो what's the impact? अगर आप ज़्यादा पे करोगे तो it is even better. In fact, now I'm glad you asked that question. Whoever comes to me and who, एक ज़माने में ऐसा होता था कि when somebody would come to me, a new person, new family, we would do some sort of a review, right? कि आपने अभी तक क्या किया है, which is a good investment, we'll keep it, which is not so good, we may want to change it and we'll do something nice and new going forward. Insurance policies, as a standard rule, we've been telling everybody, now keep it as it is. जो करके रखा था उसमें सब कुछ tax free है, उसको now we can never close that. Whatever we have has suddenly become gold because उसपे कोई tax नहीं लगेगा. But any new policy is going to be taxable. So the answer is yes. While this window is open, you can do more years of payment, but you cannot cross 2.5 lakhs to get tax benefit. मतलब जो return ये 1.2 crores जो दिखाया था, उसको tax free लाने के लिए you can maximum on your PAN card invest 2,50,000. अगर optimize करना है तो 20,800 rupees maximum. So you can't do more than that. I'm not talking about a company. I'm not promoting any company. So please don't ask that. That is on a phone call because that defeats the purpose of education. So please don't ask me which company. Okay, but I can tell you one thing, Kokilaji, this is lot of companies have similar products. See, हम लोग एक ऐसी दुनिया में है where everybody is very competitive. तो एक company अगर कुछ product ला रहा है, दूसरा भी लेके आएगा, तीसरा भी लेके आएगा. But what we have seen and curated and found out is that this is the lowest cost performance. Broadly, everybody is in the same range. The performance mein, nobody is very bad, nobody is extraordinary. They are all in the same 12 to 15% category. Now, I want to show you something very interesting, very important here. So 10% is a very conservative thing. 1.25 crore रुपया, मतलब 1 crore 20 lakh तो मिलेगा ही. उसमें से my investment is 24 lakhs. तो 1 crore रुपया तो tax free मिल ही रहा है. No question about it. Right? I just want to change this assumption now to 12%. I just want to show you something. Zari, can you now make it 12%, please? Either be 12 or either be 12. Okay. See, this actually, by the way, friends, is a tool that we are using. We use this tool to do calculations, and a lot of our clients are used to this tool. It's an amazing tool. You can put your net worth, you can put in numbers, you can do forward projection, backward projection. You can say that I have so much of a money. Let's say I will have this 83 lakhs at this point of time when I'm 50. But अगर मुझे कुछ यहाँ पे use करना है, तो how much will it go back by? If I invest more monies at different points of time. So it's a great tool, very flexible, something that we give to all our investors, whoever is with us. But it's a very handy sort of a tool to do all sorts of projections and understanding how the life will be looking like in the next 10 years and 15 years, 25 years. So it's a great piece of technology. It's very simple. It's a Google sheet, but thoda sa programming kiya hai ispe. That's all. Okay. So have you made it 12%? Yes, you have. Okay, bahut badhiya. So now let's just go down. Let's just see what's the result. So now you see, friends, it was pehle kitna tha? 1.2 crores tha. Now here we are getting almost 1.6 crores. Why? Because हम लोग assume कर रहे हैं कि instead of 10% we'll go 12%. Now I'm going to talk something very, very important. Just listen. So on an average, समझिए 1.6 is what we have got, right? Minus what we have invested is 24 lakhs, right? 0. I'm talking in terms of crores. तो अपने पास net profit कितना हुआ? समझिए करीब करीब 1.4. मतलब 1 करोड़ 40 लाख का we have made a profit. Everyone understands this 1 crore 40 lakh figure? Very important statement I'm going to make now. So everybody's okay? Zari, just remind me, there's something else I wanted to tell Sanjay on that. Can we pay more? I'll just come to that in a minute. But guys, everybody okay with 1.4 crores? Samajh aa raha hai sabko? Everybody clear? Great. Thank you. Okay. So just write it again for the benefit of everybody. 1.6 minus why 24? Because this is what we have invested, right? All this figure put together is 0.24 crores. So हमारे पास approximately 1.36 है. I am just rounding it off and saying 1.4 crores. Okay. 1 crore 40 lakh रुपया is what we will get 21st year. If this money was in mutual funds, we would pay 10% long-term capital gain tax. But that is, today's rule is 1.4 pay 10%. Today's long-term capital gain tax rule is 10%. अगर 20 साल के बाद capital gains का rule बन जाता है कि अभी capital gains जैसी भी कोई चीज नहीं है. See, they have done that with debt mutual funds. Equity mutual funds में, let's say in the next 15-20 years, they decide that there is nothing like that. जो भी आपने कमाया, put it as a part of income, return file करो, उस पे पूरा tax दो. Now, what if you are in 30% tax? 1.4 crores पे अगर आपको 30% tax plus surcharge plus this that वो सब लगाया, तो करीब करीब इसका 1/3 मतलब divide by 3 is going to become equal to almost, ये कितना है 41.3 divided, yeah, it's almost coming to 50 lakhs, no, approximately 47 lakhs, 47.3, correct Zari? Just check my calculation. 47.3, yeah, about 47 lakhs of tax. So let's say मोटा मोटा 50 लाख का टैक्स लग रहा है. Can you see? Can you understand? एक 20,000 के इन्वेस्टमेंट पे जो आपने 10 साल किया, 10 साल रुके, we expect के 1.6 crores मिलेगा, इसमें से 1 करोड़ 60 लाख रुपया मिलेगा. Okay, I mean it is saying 1.64 exactly, 1.64. That's why, you know, I took a figure of 1.40. Okay, 140 जितना हमारा गेन हो रहा है यहाँ पे. 1.4. The tax that we are likely to pay is about 50 lakhs on this. Just think about it. It's a no-brainer. When we have seen this thing, when we analyzed it, when we understood it, we thought this is a fabulous idea. Okay, and this is what we have been telling everybody in our client group, in our friends and families. Every PAN card do one investment like that. So Sanjay, again, I'm going back to your question. Can we pay more? So there is another smart way of doing it. Now, suppose if you're married, you can do it on your name. You can do it on your spouse's name also. I mean, on your wife's.
But then, Kartik, if
Yes,
the spouse is not, if the spouse is not working, and if it then goes from my my income itself, then it becomes 5 lakhs, right? Then that can be done, isn't it?
Okay, so now I'll tell you what, there is no, she can do it. You can gift her some money. Gifting mein there is no tax. Now a housewife also has a human life value according to the principle of insurance. See, by the way, isme insurance is very small. Insurance is going to be 24 lakhs. Okay. And
Yeah.
I can have you have a conversation with my insurance specialist. I'm a specialist in equities and investment, but I'm not a specialist in insurance. So exact underwriting rules, I can have you have a free conversation consultation with the insurance expert that we have on impaneled with us. Okay? So that just let us know, we'll do that. But from the knowledge that I
Yeah.
have, let me tell you that a wife also has a human life value, a housewife. Why?
Right.
Because she is doing some, I mean, this is insurance principle. थोड़ा सा stupid लगेगा आपको. क्या है, from the insurance angle, वो insurer ऐसे सोचता है that if the housewife goes away, then the people in the house will have to spend money. Somebody will have to do the work that she was doing. And uske liye there will be some expenditure that you will do. See, housewife, you're not paying a salary. But if the housewife is not there, suppose she goes away, she dies, then somebody else has to be doing that part of the work, right? So that means she has got human life value. But
Yeah.
now, from an Indian society and from a hazard point of view, from this dowry and all that point of view, they say that the wife's insurance in India cannot be more than the husband's insurance. So which means if the lady is a housewife and if your insurance is 1 crore, then her insurance cannot be more than 1 crore. If your insurance is 25 lakhs, तो उसका 25 lakhs से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकता. कम होगा तो चलेगा, right? But if she's a professional, then this doesn't apply. If she's a working professional having her own salary or business or whatever, if the lady is not a housewife, but if she is a working professional or a salaried employee, then this rule gets modified, doesn't apply. This is how the insurance company thinks. Okay. In fact, ये family ऐसा भी कर सकती है. You know, your father who's a senior citizen. I mean, because if we are somewhere around 30, 40, then obviously our parents are around 60, right?
Yeah.
So 60, 65. The father can also propose this kind of a policy, invest this 20,000 from his account, and you can become the life insured. Abhi usme kya fayda hoga, Sanjay? I'm so glad you asked this. So let's say you have taken this policy, right? तो आप तो अपना 20,000 का SIP जैसा चीज कर रहे हो, no problem. You are getting your 24 lakhs of life insurance plus ये tax free वगैरह हो रहा है. You did one for your wife because I said the wife's insurance can be same or lesser, even if she's a housewife. So ये solve हो गया. Now, if your dad proposes this insurance in your name, you become the life insured. Your life insurance part doubles. So if you compare a 48 lakh insurance vis-a-vis a term insurance that you will take of 48 lakh, this works out cheaper. Okay, that calculation also we've done. So father, mother can also propose. The father has a PAN card, mother has a PAN card. So both of them can propose you. This is a very creative solution. Further details with my insurance consultant, but I know that this is perfectly acceptable. Insurance company also underwrites because you know the father is taking he's proposing. See, insurance mein proposer is different, life insured is different. I can be a proposer and I can insure my child. You know, I can do an investment plan on my child's name. Child could be a minor. This is a very normal thing that we tend to do, right? So this is how you can work, and this is how you can do additional utilization of this. For people who are in business, by the way, there is a yet another Brahmastra that we have, which is the HUF. So if you have an HUF, you can make an investment from HUF also. Why? Because the HUF has its own PAN card. So, and we are doing this, remember again, friends, we are not doing this from a section 80C point of view. You may be doing PPF, you may be doing Provident Fund, I mean, a Provident Fund, all that will already take care of your 80C. Focus is not 80C, focus is 1010D. Because of the 1010D benefit, your 1 crore 20 or 1 crore 60, which I just showed, is becoming tax free. So if you think about it, if husband and wife do it together, both of us will, my wife and I, both of us will get this 1.6 each. Okay. We are both saving 50 lakhs of tax over the next 21 years. हमारा घर में, between the two of us, 1 crore बच गया in terms of taxation, which I'm going to invest this money anyways, right? I'm doing a SIP with this money. What's the best investment to do if I want to grow my money? It's an SIP. So this insurance companies are so clever. They have made an SIP format of an insurance plan. So in a mutual fund, I would normally take an assumption of 12 or 14%. In a ULIP, I'm taking assumption of 10 or 12%. So I'm just being, because थोड़ा सा वहाँ पे वो cost factor होता है, right? Is good? Is this clear? Everybody, give me a check. Everyone good? Sanjay, you good? Abhishek, Abhijit, sorry. Okay, chalo. So we'll move forward. Now, Ravi, we come to your favorite topic of financial freedom. See, what we are trying to do is now we are talking in terms of, again, today the subject matter is from a very small investment. How could we maximize things and how could we do some absolutely radical stuff? So what we'll do is we'll keep the return 12%. Now we are going to mutual fund space. Okay, because like I said, mutual fund space can very easily do 14 to 16%. We'll be conservative. In our projections, we are always conservative. Zyada milega, so we are very happy. Right?
In investment.
Sorry? Okay. So when we get more, we are always happy. Right? So what we will do is we keep our assumption again at 12% steady. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is instead of taking this 2,40,000, and by the way, let me tell you, you're already financially free, Ravi, so you don't need to worry. Also, we've gone over, all your investments lots of times. Everything's good, but you can actually now think about starting to utilize this cash payout. Now, I'll just show you kitne kam mein kitna zyada ho sakta hai. So even a small portion of your investment, and you can start having this cash payout happening. But my example, I'm still sticking to the 35 sort of a thing. Okay, Jhaveri, can you please change this investment from this 20,000 to 50,000 rupees? That's the only difference which I'm doing. Sanjay, for your benefit, Abhijit, I do this investment, my spouse does it, so 20, 20, 40 to ho gaya. Maybe I can do another 10,000 on my kid's name or whatever. So multiple things. I'm doing tax deduction, tax benefit, exempt income mil raha hai mujhe, plus my retirement planning or financial freedom is also happening because if we can do this investment for a shorter period of time, just 10 years again. Oh, by the way, can you go to the 11th year here and just subtract this thing? No, you need to be MF. Sorry, you're in the wrong sheet. You need to be an MF plus, please. Yeah. Here, please make it 50,000. Yes. Now just go to this number here and please make this 24. Make it 60. Okay. Again, as you can see, friends, is just 10 years investments. Okay, we are just talking from a very small time frame. Again, concept hai. This is of course we are doing mutual funds, right? So you can do more. But now, interestingly, we are talking about 50,000 investment, right? So on this 50,000 investment, we can do something clever. We can break this. So that 20,000 can go to that ULIP, jahan pe wo tax free mil jayega, and 30,000 can go here. You want to do it on your spouse's name also, you can do 20 plus 20 and then 10,000 here. Or if you want other names in the house and if you want to do 20 more investments, you can do that also. But like I said, that ULIP was a smaller subset of just taking the tax benefit of the larger strategy of financial freedom, right? So that's what we are talking about. I'll just clear my drawings. Okay. So we are doing a 50,000 investment now for 10 years time. Okay. How much is the total investment going to be? 60 lakhs, right? 6 lakhs every year into 10 years. So basically it is 60 lakhs. 60 lakhs is our investment. So 60 lakhs, what can we do? The logic is that, again, we will do the same thing. We will invest for 10 years. We will wait for another 10 years. Okay, simple. Go down, please. Okay, now you can all see that in 21 years, the value of this thing at 12% only will be 4 crores. Now, what we are doing is something interesting. Out of this 4 crores of a corpus, I'm not going to use this whole corpus on the 21st year from today. What I will do is I will only withdraw 6% of this corpus. Okay. Why 6%? No particular logic. You can withdraw 7% also, 8% also. We'll just show that demonstration to you. But let's say I just withdraw 6% because my need is only 2 lakhs per month. For example, suppose I need 2 lakhs a month. So 2 lakhs a month means what? Here, can you see this is 2 lakhs per month. 2 lakhs per month is 24 lakhs per year. So 24 lakhs ko main agar ye 4 crores se divide karta hu, that works out to about 6%. Okay. So that's why I'm saying that every year, now can you just slide Slowly scroll down a little bit more. Go down, go down, go down, go down. Yeah. Now stop. So what we are saying is that यहाँ से 6% withdrawal मैंने किया. So 6% withdrawal is 24 lakhs, which is 2 lakhs a month. My need is taken care of, and my investment will continue to keep growing. 12% is a very humble assumption. By the time I get into my 80s, and by the time I'm ready to go away from this world, go down further, please. Go down further. Yeah, somewhere I'm thinking that life expectancy of 83, 85 के आसपास, somewhere 40 or 50 crores का fund बचा है, which I can leave it as a legacy also. I can give it to my children, or there's a big or there. I can, of course, give it as a legacy. I can give it for my son, daughter, family, charity, जो भी करना है. I can do that. Or what I can do is go up again a little bit up. Just scroll up a little bit. I can start, instead of you remember I said, yeah, why this 6%? No particular reason. जाओ ऊपर थोड़ा और ऊपर जाओ, और ऊपर जाओ. Some more, please. Okay, up here. What I'm going to just simulate and show you, slightly up. I want to go to 6. Yeah, you see this retirement income rate of 6%. Sorry, from this 6, just make it 8%. So what has happened? Okay, just make it 9%. Okay, so instead of taking 2 lakhs every month, I'm now going to use 3 lakhs, because maybe I don't want to leave so much money behind as a legacy for that, right? फिर भी there will be enough money left. Go down further. Yeah. See, now instead of that 40 crores, I will have 20 crores left behind to give as legacy when I'm going to go away from this world. So you can start consuming more money out of this, and lesser will be left. If your need is lesser, then you can leave more. So you can do whatever permutation combination you want from there. Now, is there anybody who wants to see whether 12% is possible or not possible? You want to verify that? Very quickly, can you show value research and just open all equity funds and just let's look at the last 10 years return. Can you do that for us, please? What I'm showing you here is value research online is a free portal. All of you can go to it yourselves. You can even exactly what we are going to show you, you can do it yourself. You can have a look at that and you can check it out for yourself. That when we talk in terms of these returns of 10%, 12%, 15%, these are whether these are actually possible or not possible, and that is what we are trying to do. Can you please? We cannot see your share screen. Huh? Can you please show us your browser? Yeah, great. So this is okay. Well, research online, guys. This is the site. Okay, you can go to it yourself, and you just probably need to log in, free account, and you can see whatever you need. So let's go for a 10-year return. Yes, 10-year return. Okay, so now these are all equity funds across the Indian market. It does this is a little bit of a screener. It does everything. Now 27, 25, 22, very nice. Now these are 10-year returns. I'm talking in terms of getting 12%. Returns are much more. But let's further go down. Let's not go to the best product. Suppose we don't choose the best product. We are in ordinary products. Let's kind of go down and see what is available on the lower end. I mean, see, there are thousands of guys, 12, 15, 16, hundreds. And these are hundreds of funds going in front of you. Go further down. Go further down. What's the worst performing fund? I want to go to that one. One sec, hold on. Okay, so there are just a handful of these which are like doing really bad, less than 10. Go up, please. Oh no, but this is these are different funds only. These are Hang Seng funds. These are not Indian equity. This is world agriculture. No. Okay, upar jao. These are all world funds which are not even applicable to us. Okay, so we stop here. Ye Taurus large cap. This is, we draw a line here. Sorry, I'll just remove my drawings. This probably is the place we need to stop. Taurus. So on a 10-year basis, 10-year return, the worst performing fund in the Indian market as on today is 10%. So our 10% assumption to kahi nahi gaya. 10% to milega. But of course, we will not be in the worst. No, we will try and choose the 3-star, 4-star, 5-star kind of a fund. Even if we choose it ourselves, we will not go very broadly wrong. But if you use, some mutual fund brokers like us, then it's even better. We can give you some better recommendations. Go up a little bit, please. Just go up a tiny bit, please. Yeah. So just one second. I just want to see how many funds were below 12. Huh? So this is where 12 is starting. This point onward. Sorry, this point onwards, right? This is where 12 is starting. So 1, 2, 3, go down. 4, 5, 6. So about there are 7 or 8 funds, right? Which are below 12%, but still above 10%. So by chance, किसी एकदम बेकार fund में भी फंस गए तो भी 10% return is what you're getting, is what I'm trying to say. So at even 10%, you will still get your 200,000 cash flow happening in 20 years time. Absolutely no problem. Shift me back to the tool, please. Show me the tool, please. Now go up. Now I'm going to show you some more magic. What was the trend for the max returns? My God, if I put 20% and all that here, I mean, 18%, 20% kind of products also, then to ye pura, Google sheet will break out and we'll have retirement happening from tomorrow. So,
But
no,
Kartik,
it's
just one point over here. These
yes.
funds that
What is this?
these we are talking about these the normal mutual fund, right? But these companies, these insurance companies, be it Aditya Birla or SBI, their mutual fund which will be behind these insurance products, those will be different funds, right? Those will not be the ones that we are looking at normally.
Sorry, who's speaking for just 1 second?
Abhijit, it's Abhijit.
Abhijit, huh? Abhijit, yes. So my experience of most of these ULIPs, see, there was a time, firstly, in ULIPs in 2005, 6, or in that period, in the first 10 years of the 21st century to, the early decade there, the cost used to be very high. Now they've become very clever. Cost is low, fund variety is enormous. So today, most of the ULIP companies, which is ICICI, HDFC, Tata, I mean, these are the leaders, right? Birla, Bajaj, etc. They all have all sorts of funds. They all will have a large cap fund. They all will have a mid cap fund. They all will have a small cap fund. And see, Abhijit, the life of, from my point of view, for me to make suggestions to my friends, family, and clients, I don't know how long this window is going to be open. I'm only saying that, for example, financial freedom, हम तो ये 50,000 का example दिखा रहे हैं. But out of the 50,000, my 20,000 can go into one of the ULIP because there is a tax benefit available there. Now, tomorrow, if Madam Finance Minister says that there is no more tax benefit, then we will not even talk about the ULIP. Then that is a forgotten story. That story is over. That chapter is over thereafter.
Right.
But the beauty is, sorry, 1 second. Huh? But the beauty is about these insurance contracts. Now, this is a special provision only for insurance under the Insurance Act. Once you buy an insurance product, the taxation for the entire life of the product is decided today. Okay, I'll repeat again. When you buy an insurance product, the taxation for the full 30 years or 35 years is decided today. So today, if it is tax-free, it will remain like that. That's how the Insurance Act is. The government can change the act. They have changed the act, but then that is only forward, not backward. जो हो गया उस पे change नहीं हो सकता. Mutual fund, stock market, any other investment, fixed deposit that we do, the tax on that is at the date of sell, redemption, maturity. So the taxation is never known. Mutual fund में आगे क्या tax लगेगा, we don't know. Fixed deposit में क्या tax लगेगा, don't know. All the products that are in future, we don't know what's going to be the tax on that. Insurance, we know today tax-free, forever tax-free. So I see, typically most of my clients will make an investment of 1 lakh SIP, 1.5 lakh SIP, 50, 60 lakhs of investments. This is the broad category of people I work with mainly, right? So in that, I suggest to them that try and do this 20,000 ULIP because there is a tax advantage there. There are two benefits: reduction benefit, but I'm not focusing on that because their provident fund is already taking care of it. Maybe their other insurance is taking care of it. But 1010D focus karo. Maybe we just have 10 months to do this. So did I answer your question?
Yes. What I wanted to understand was,
yeah,
what I wanted to understand was that, do these insurance companies for their for their ULIPs, do they launch different funds than those are there in the market right now? So let's say Tata, if it is going to launch this ULIP, will they launch a different mutual fund for that? like a mid cap fund, a whole cap fund, or a sort of a multi cap or
So I
something?
tell
Or
you,
would these investments also go into the normal funds that they have right now, where we are doing the mutual fund investments?
okay. Okay, let me just try and explain that in a slightly different way. Can I open whiteboard? Can I do that somehow? Well, just one second. Yeah, I got the whiteboard. Okay, so see here what is happening is, say we are talking only about ULIP products, okay? ULIPs. So let's say these are funds. Okay, fund number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this fund, let's say fund A was launched by the company in the year 2010. Then B, C, D, and E. This was launched, let's say 2014. This was launched in 2014. Just giving random examples. 2017, and stay with me, 2021. Okay. Now funds are separate from ULIP. This is how my understanding is. Okay. And I think this is right. ULIP, now let's say this same company, okay, this company X company, whatever that is, X company. Okay. Now they have ULIP, product number 1, product number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Now, when product number 1 was launched, let's say it was launched in 2010, तभी उनके पास खाली एक ही fund था, fund A. Let's say there was another product which got launched in the year 2022. Now, in 2022, no, not 2020, let's say 2020. So 2020 tak there were 1, 2, 3, 4 funds. So the customer who bought the 2020 product has the choice of putting his money into, A, fund A, or B, or C, or D. So insurance company का fund manager क्या करता है? He gets funds that come in from customers who keep joining the company's various different policies. But from all the policies, the money ultimately flows into, large cap fund hoga ye. Maybe this is a large and mid cap fund. Maybe this is a small cap fund. Maybe this is a pharma fund. Maybe this is a technology fund. I'm just giving random names. Okay. So what happens is fund management is a separate part. Okay. And there is just a porous wall between these two things. So this is where the company is getting its inflows. And this is what the customer is choosing. कि मुझे कौन से fund में जाना है. Does this clarify?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Now let us say the guy who was in 2020. Now today we are in 2023, and this company has launched another fund today in F. 2023 में एक नया fund आया. Suppose it does some special situation. I mean something. Yeah, I'm just giving some random. Let us say they bring out a new fund in 2020. So this guy from 2010 or 2020, if his policy is still going on, and if I mean, they have to, of course, get the approvals from IRD and all that. It's just procedural, but they will also get the facility of investing in this 2023 fund. Okay, what they are doing is, Abhijit, they are moving their funds from 2010 wala, this large cap fund to small cap, or from here to index fund, or from index fund to small cap fund. There is no capital gains on switching. No, that's also an advantage by them. वहां पे भी टैक्स नहीं है. अगर म्यूचुअल फंड में यू डू दिस स्विचिंग फ्रॉम इक्विटी टू डेट टू इक्विटी, यू हैव टू पे कैपिटल गेन्स. Here, if you switch from, suppose you think the market is overheated, let me take out money, put everything in debt fund. There is no tax for whatever profit you have made in ULIP. So that's another thing. आज नहीं तो कल गवर्नमेंट की नजर में आ जाएगा ये. So I think they will stop that also. So we are just taking a pure advantageous situation that we have a situation today where we can get a little bit of benefit. So, see, we are like, I didn't introduce my company obvious reasons because we want to talk about education. So, we've been in this business for 20 years. So, 20 years, we've only been doing stocks and mutual funds, and a little bit sometimes when opportunity comes by, when it's a little opportunistic to take advantage, then we go in these units itself.
So we can look
Yes,
at the ULIP performance also if you want once.
Yeah, please. Why not? Yeah, let's show the ULIP performance. Grab it. But you will have to take us through this. Huh? I mean, I'm not well versed with this one.
So this is one of the
You're showing us Bajaj, but you can show. No, actually, just show us the whole thing. Nah? Don't open a specific page. Just like value research. Can you show us like all of them together? All the different ones on a 10-year basis. Do you get that kind of data?
Not too sure.
I mean, category. Okay, chal, theek hai. No, let's whatever you have open, fine. Let's look at that. Whatever you have open, let's
So
look
we
at
are just looking at one of the funds, the ULIP fund, basically
it.
where
Okay, so investment. So this is the returns of the investment, the first line.
yeah.
Okay. So 2022, I can see they did only 5%, but 21 they did 23%, 18%, 7, 1, 32. Okay, so one good year, two bad years, one good year, bad year, okay year. So yeah, I mean, so if you take an average of that, we will still get 12%, no? Very easy.
Yes.
Abhijit, makes sense?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. See, these are whatever returns that they are showing, there are some costs that we pay in ULIP, right? So what we have done is we have investigated these costs. You can remove this. We have investigated these costs. So what happens? These costs, they tend to reduce the returns that we are getting. Now, whatever returns you saw is the returns of that fund or that product, but that is not our return. So if we were to invest on that, हमारा थोड़ा return कम होगा. How much is that? It's called reduction in yield. How much our reduction in yield will be? We've calculated the best product in the market reduces your yield by 1.73%. So 1.7%. So if you are getting an average of, let's say, 14% and whatever my colleague Zarish just showed us, okay, if that average of 10 years, do you have an average, Zarish, by any chance? Do you have a broad line average? Or if you can do a mathematical, just punch the numbers into a calculator, 10-year average, dekho. So whatever is that average, suppose it works out to 13.5%, we will reduce 1.7. So that is what happens in terms of reduction of yield.
Kartik, I believe that there are some companies which return these charges that they collect as well back to you.
Yes. I mean, there are a host of those benefits. Yes.
Yeah.
They not only charges, they return mortality charges, then they give loyalty addition, then they give this. So see, these are all paraphernalia benefits. I was not really selling a product to you. I'm just explaining a concept. But there are at least 20 other benefits. I mean, life insurance is the biggest benefit. So I spoke about it. But then chota benefits, for example, if you are paid 24 lakh extra, so if you put a cash value on kitna benefit extra, maybe it's 5-7% with these loyalty additions. So 5% means it could be about 1,20,000 rupees of worth of. So typically these ULIP policies, what they do is they give you more units. So these units are like those toffee and chocolates they give you that, okay, you completed 5 years, we'll give you some loyalty addition, 10 years, we'll give you something more. So that is how they generally tend to work. But that benefit on an aggregate basis broadly does not cross about 5 to 7, 8%. It doesn't go beyond. So I didn't speak about that. The focus completely was on let's get our 1.5 crore tax free. Let's save 50 lakhs of tax. If I do it for my spouse also, I save 1 crore. If I have 4 people who have PAN cards in my house, I can save 2 crores. See, typically we all make investments. 20,000 SIP, 40,000 or 60,000. I mean, typically that's the standard investments which we do. Mutual fund has taught that for the last 20 years. That we should do these SIPs, the most powerful way to create wealth over a long-term period, right? So now, if there is something that is being offered from an insurance company at a cost of 2%, and I'm not talking fund management because even the mutual fund charges 2.5%, 2.25% FMC fund management charge. So these insurance guys charge 1.3%. It's half. So both that is equal and insurance is slightly better. But the entry charge, which mutual fund doesn't charge, these guys charge an entry of 2%. But that's okay. That's only so small. It's 5,000 rupees a year on a 2.5 lakh kind of a premium. So that's something that we kind of ignore. That's the only thing that doesn't come back. All the other charges, typically fund management, they'll charge you, but mortality charges and all of that is all they return back.
So the average return on that is about 15.19%.
So 15.2%, 19 matlab, let's say 15.2. You subtract 1.7 from there or 1.8. I mean, the product that we have analyzed. So typically the return would be for 13.5%.
Yes.
So it is still, so 12% is a very, very conservative number to take. So 12% is.
And what is the average return on that mutual fund for the same period?
Oh, the mutual funds would be averaging somewhere in the range of 15 to 16%. If you take average across all the mutual funds of India.
Okay, so you mean to say like ULIP and the mutual funds are giving the same return?
Broadly, yeah. Broadly. I mean, my 25 years of looking at this thing, They more or less are in sync. There are times where sometimes ULIP goes above the mutual fund. There are times where the mutual fund is higher. But my experience is ULIPs all range between 12 to 14%. Mutual funds range typically from 12 to 16%. So that's my view. And that is what is, you can see that also. I mean, in the sense, this value research website, you can anytime open it and you can even check it out. So it will pretty clearly tell you exactly what's happening.
Okay.
Friends, I'm done with my session. Normally we do this 60 to 80 minutes. If there's any help, just put our numbers for anyone who wants to need any help. Further. Hey, Jude, nice to see you. Good to have you in. See who else is joined in. Sonal, not heard anything from you, but I hope you're enjoying. I mean, you found something interesting. Tapan, didn't hear from
Wonderful session, Kaushik Bhai. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. In fact, last time also when I listened to you, I sent the message to Tejasa. So
Okay.
Thank you for making us part of your presentations and thanks for the invite. It's very insightful, very detailed and wonderful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Sonal. Anything we can do, I mean, please let us know. And
Sure.
this happens on the first Saturday at 11 a.m. every month. So you can even circulate to friends. And not only that, Sonal, I would really appreciate if you guys can come forward and tell me what you want to hear about. So, because we do a lot of curating in our method, and pretty much through the whole month, we will start working for the first one that is going to happen in July. July, what's the date in July? July, the first Saturday is going to be the 1st of July, incidentally. So 1st of July is going to be our next session. But I mean, not only you, but everybody, whoever is there in this forum, please let us know what you want to hear about. Suppose you want me to discuss about some particular product or some particular activity or the impact, let's say Ukraine impact. Of course, Ukraine is now stale news, but what's happening in America or failure of a bank or anything that you want me to cover, we are happy to do and put some material together and do some research on that and come to you. But otherwise, we will continue doing this thing and we'll again come out with some other interesting and different kind of a topic. If we find a new concept, we will talk about that. But I'm open to any questions, any queries that you may have. And of course, you can connect with us later on also. So just mute everybody, please. And you can even stop the recording.